A twist so perfect it changed cinema forever, a line nearly cut by nervous executives, and a color that warned you about ghosts from the very first frame. In 1998, M. Night Shyamalan didn't just make a ghost story, he created a masterclass in visual storytelling that fooled millions while hiding the truth in plain sight. Bruce Willis delivered his career-best performance. A child actor gave us genuine chills, and the phrase that became immortal.
I see dead people.
These are the cinema secrets you missed in The Sixth Sense. Number 1. It started as a crime thriller. Before ghosts entered the picture, Shyamalan had a completely different vision. His original concept followed a crime photographer haunted by disturbing scenes he captured at work. Darker, grittier, and rooted in violence rather than the supernatural. But something shifted during writing. Shyamalan realized the emotional core he wanted needed a different vessel. The pivot toward a child psychologist and a boy who sees the departed transformed what could have been just another dark thriller into something profound, a moving supernatural drama about connection, understanding, and unfinished business. That creative decision changed everything and gave us the film that defined an era of twist endings. Number 2. The executive who lost his job. Taking risks in Hollywood can cost everything. Disney's David Vogel read Shyamalan's script and immediately recognized its potential. But Vogel didn't follow protocol. Instead of waiting for corporate approval, he bought the script on his own authority, believing so strongly in its power that he bypassed usual channels. Disney executives didn't share his enthusiasm. The unauthorized purchase got Vogel fired. Yet that risky move ultimately helped create one of the most profitable psychological thrillers of all time, grossing over $670 million worldwide. Sometimes the best decisions come from people willing to sacrifice their careers for art. Number 3. The cold breath was real. That haunting fog when ghosts appear wasn't CGI or special effects. The production team literally lowered set temperatures to near freezing so actors' breath would naturally show on camera. Every misty exhalation signaling supernatural presence meant the cast was genuinely shivering. The frigid conditions made the air feel thick and heavy, creating authentic dread that digital manipulation couldn't match. This commitment to practical effects turned physical discomfort into cinematic tension. The cold wasn't just something characters experienced, actors endured it, and that authenticity translated directly onto screen. Number 4. Michael Cera almost played Cole. Long before awkward comedy made him famous, a young performer auditioned for Cole Sear. Michael Cera read for the troubled boy who sees the departed, but his natural energy didn't align with Shyamalan's vision. Cera's inherent lighthearted tone and comedic timing worked against him for this role. The character required haunting stillness, a weight of sadness and fear almost too heavy for a child to carry. The failed audition shows how wide the casting net was before Haley Joel Osment walked in and embodied everything the director needed. Number 5. Toni Collette's secret wig. Throughout the entire production, Toni Collette wore a wig carefully crafted to create Lynn Sear's weary working-class appearance. It wasn't about vanity, it was about finding the visual truth of a struggling single mother. The wig softened Colette's face and gave Lynn a worn-down quality, matching her circumstances perfectly. Every strand contributed to portraying someone barely holding things together, exhausted from trying to understand her son while working to keep their lives stable. Few viewers realized they weren't seeing her natural hair. That hidden detail demonstrates how smallest choices deepen realism without audiences consciously noticing the craft. Number 6. Bruce Willis was forced into the role. The best performances sometimes come from unexpected circumstances. Bruce Willis didn't volunteer for The Sixth Sense. He was contractually obligated after another Disney project fell through. What began as a studio deal became something far more significant. Willis brought quiet vulnerability audiences had rarely seen from the action star. His subdued, contemplative performance showed a completely different side of his abilities, becoming one of the best performances of his career. Without that failed project forcing his hand, we might never have seen Willis deliver such nuanced, emotionally restrained work. Number 7. Donnie Wahlberg's shocking transformation. Dedication to a role can transform an actor beyond recognition. Donnie Wahlberg dropped over 40 pounds to play Vincent Gray, the tormented former patient in the chilling opening sequence. His commitment was so extreme it stunned everyone on set. His frighteningly fragile appearance shocked the crew and Bruce Willis, who didn't recognize Wahlberg when they first met. The gaunt, skeletal look perfectly captured Vincent's psychological torment and years of suffering. Despite appearing for only minutes, Wahlberg's scene became one of the most unforgettable moments in the film. Number 8. The secret of red visual storytelling often speaks louder than dialogue. Throughout The Sixth Sense, red appears in crucial moments. A church door, a balloon floating upstairs, a doorknob, clothing worn by certain characters. These aren't random design choices. Shyamalan used red as a symbolic marker for the boundary between life and afterlife. Each appearance acts like a warning light, signaling moments when two worlds touch or overlap. The color became language itself, teaching attentive viewers to recognize when something supernatural is about to occur. This visual motif rewards multiple viewings. Once you know what red represents, you see it everywhere. Number 9. The opening scene hides the ending. The most brilliant twist is often hidden in plain sight. The opening sequence shows Malcolm being shot by Vincent Gray, a traumatic encounter setting the entire story in motion. But the scene isn't actually resolved. There's no ambulance, no hospital, no recovery. Instead, the film jumps forward with a simple title card, The Next Fall. Suddenly, Malcolm is working with a new patient. The transition feels natural, and audiences accept it without question. It's the quietest reveal in movie history, hiding truth behind careful pacing. The twist was right there in the first 5 minutes, but filmmaking is so assured that viewers never question the gap. Number 10. I See Dead People nearly got cut. Some of cinema's most iconic lines almost never made it to screen. Studio executives thought I See Dead People sounded corny and melodramatic. They wanted it changed or removed entirely, worried audiences would laugh at the wrong moment. Shyamalan fought hard to keep it, knowing it was the emotional center of the entire story. The phrase wasn't meant to shock. It was Cole's desperate confession, a moment of vulnerable honesty after holding a terrifying secret alone. Without that line, The Sixth Sense might never have entered pop culture history. It became one of the most quoted moments of its era, instantly recognizable even to people who never saw the film. Number 11. The sound you never noticed. The most effective scares work on your body before your mind understands why. Sound designers added low-frequency tones just below the range of conscious hearing during the film's most tense moments. These infrasonic frequencies exist at the edge of human perception. Viewers couldn't consciously detect the sound, but their bodies reacted with feelings of unease, anxiety, and discomfort. It's a psychological trick manipulating physical responses, making audiences feel wrong without knowing why. This invisible layer of sound design demonstrates craft that separates good horror from great psychological tension. Number 12. The deleted hospital scene. Not every scene makes the final cut. A deleted sequence showed Cole witnessing grotesque ghosts in a hospital basement after being drawn to a medical supply wagon. The scene was intense, disturbing, and technically well executed, but Shyamalan cut it entirely, realizing the graphic imagery distracted from the story's emotional tone and pushed the film too far into pure horror territory. The moment was effective as a scare, but undermined the delicate balance between fear and heartache that made the film special. That restraint turned potential horror into genuine emotional weight. Number 13. The wardrobe clue. Everyone missed. Malcolm Crowe never changes clothes after the opening scene where Vincent shoots him. Throughout the rest of the film, he wears the same gray sweater, white shirt, and dark jacket in various combinations, pieces that all appeared in that first sequence. It's a visual signal that he's frozen in time, stuck in the moment of his passing. The repetition feels natural at first, but becomes significant upon rewatching. This subtle costume choice is one of the film's most elegant clues, hiding evidence in plain sight. Number 14. Shyamalan's hidden cameo directors often place themselves in their own films, and this appearance carries thematic weight. M. Night Shyamalan briefly plays the doctor examining Cole at the hospital, delivering his assessment with detached clinical skepticism. The cameo isn't just playful signature, it mirrors how adults throughout the movie ignore or dismiss truth staring them in the face. Number 15. Hidden psalm in the church. During one of the film's most emotionally charged moments in the church, Latin words from Psalm 130 are visible on the wall behind Cole. Out of the depths I cry to you, O Lord, a desperate plea for divine intervention and salvation. The placement isn't accidental. The psalm mirrors Cole's silent cry for help, his desperate need for someone to understand and believe him. This quiet layer of spiritual symbolism adds depth few viewers consciously notice during first viewing. Number 16. Philadelphia was the film's sole location, shapes a film's identity beyond simple backdrop. The Sixth Sense was shot entirely in Shyamalan's hometown of Philadelphia, and the city's character seeps into every scene. Historic architecture, row houses, and muted autumn tones gave the movie its grounded, everyday eeriness. Philadelphia's old neighborhoods provided the perfect setting for a story about the past, refusing to stay buried. The city's mix of colonial history and working-class reality created an environment where ghosts felt plausible rather than fantastical. Number 17. Haley Joel Osment wasn't scared on set. Despite playing a terrified boy haunted by visions, Haley Joel Osment said he never actually felt frightened during filming. The ghosts, tension, and dark atmosphere never translated into real fear for the young actor. Instead, Osment approached each scene from an emotional rather than fearful place. He tapped into sadness, isolation, and the weight of carrying an impossible secret rather than playing simple terror. This professional distance demonstrates why Osment's work resonated so powerfully. He wasn't just reacting with fear, he was building a complete character study. Number 18. The twist that changed cinema. One film can reshape an entire industry's approach to storytelling. After The Sixth Sense became a phenomenon, Hollywood rediscovered the power of the twist ending. Studios suddenly wanted stories that made audiences gasp in final minutes, sparked conversations, and demanded repeat viewings. Films like The Others and Identity followed its example, trying to capture that same lightning. The Sixth Sense showed audiences wanted stories that made them think long after credits rolled, narratives that respected their intelligence and rewarded their attention. It raised the bar for psychological thrillers and proved the smartest films could also be the most commercially successful. Which secret blew your mind? And did you catch the twist on your first viewing? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. And remember, sometimes the dead don't know they're dead. Now like, subscribe, and share before the temperature drops. Thanks for watching.